just left the dentist here on base, so I am still a little bit numb, but I wanted to go ahead and do this video. So this video is going to be about single moms in the Air Force. A lot of people have the misconception that you cannot join the military as a single mom. That is partially true, but not 100%. So pretty much when I decided that I wanted to look into joining the military, I kind of had to like weigh my options. A lot of people were like, you know, you as a single mom, you're not married. If you do not know, yes, I do have 2 children, one 6 years old and one 4-year-old. So a lot of people were telling me like, oh, you're gonna have to give up, you know, custody of your kids, you know, whatever. And I was doing a lot of research, and it was saying that, you know, like, oh, you know, you don't really know, you know, the answers to these questions. So I was Googling a lot of my stuff just to try to figure out, you know, what my options were. And that's what a lot of people were saying, like, oh, you have to give up full custody of your kids. And I don't know, you know, about most single moms or single dads, but to me, that was not happening. Because if I gave up custody of my children, you know, they would not get those military benefits. If something was to happen to them, you know, those decisions are not left up to me. Those decisions will be left up to whoever I give custody of my children to. So I was just not about that life. Like, that was a no-go for me. So as I did more and more research, I came across this article that was saying that the Air Force was new to opening up their doors pretty much to single moms. So I was all excited about that, you know, whatever. Initially, when I wanted to join the military, the Air Force recruiter that was in my local area pretty much did not want to do the waiver for single parents, because when you come in to the Air Force as a single parent, you do have to have a waiver signed, and it does require a lot of paperwork. It has to go up, you know, the ladder, up the chain of command and get signed off on, and a lot of people just did not, you know, they don't want to do the paperwork. They feel like if I can pretty much sign somebody a contract that does not require all of that paperwork, I'll pick them over the person that it requires paperwork for. So that did discourage me for a little while. In my local area, all of the recruiters are pretty much in the same area, in the same hallway. So I went over to this Army recruiter, and I did take like the practice test for them, and I spoke to them, but I just could not come to terms with, you know, me having to give up custody of my children. Before they processed me or took any like the next steps for me joining the Army, I had to come in there with a document stating I had gave up custody of my children, and I was just not about to do that. I was like a no-go for me. I'm like, you know, if I'm joining the military, I don't know about some, you know, most people, some people come in for education, some people come in, you know, just to pretty much get like that military background, you know, under their belt for, you know, discipline. Some people join to travel. Me personally, I joined to create a stable environment for my children. And a stable, you know, not so much life, because, you know, I do have to PCS and go places, you know, from here to there or wherever, but pretty much, you know, financial stability, me not having to struggle as a single mother. That's something I never wanted. So this would be this was the reason why I joined the military. And I was not about to sign pretty much my life over to Uncle Sam, and then Uncle Sam was not going to provide any benefits for my children. Could not do it. So for a while, I did not, you know, try to search out, you know, any other recruiters, or I did not try to pursue me joining the military because that had discouraged me. So a little bit over a year goes by, and I go to talk to the Air Force recruiter, and there's a new recruiter there, and he was like, yeah, you know, sure, like he got the ball rolling, like as far as my waiver. My children were not a problem at all. It did take, you know, a while because it did require a lot of signatures. But from the minute that I left for basic training, the day that I left for basic training, my children were on my orders. My children were pretty much receiving medical benefits while I was away at basic training and away at tech school. I did get separation pay, which is an extra $250 a month when you're away from your kids during basic training and tech school, or whenever you deploy, or if you're gone for more than, I think, 60 days on a TDY, then you get that separation pay for, you know, them compensating you for you being away from your dependents. And you also get that as well if you are married without children. But so I say that to, pretty much say this, that, to any single mothers out there that feel like they can't join the military. Yes, you can. You cannot join other branches without giving up custody of your children, but you can most definitely join the Air Force with your kids. I think if you have like 4 or 5, there's like a cutoff amount, but you can join the military if you have like 1, 2, or 3 children and you're single. And that also goes for single dads as well, because if you inform them, in which you should, that you have kids or you have a child and you're not married to the mother, they do also, require a waiver for you, because other branches will also require you to give up custody of your children. That doesn't just go for single mothers, that also goes for single dads. So in my opinion, I just don't feel like that is worth it. I feel like, the Air Force has so much more to offer, especially for single moms like myself. So just don't feel like, you can't do it. You do have to have a support system. My family is very supportive of myself and me joining the military, which makes it a little bit easier, because you do have to have a family care plan. So a family care plan is pretty much a plan that you have it set in stone, that if you were to deploy, you have someone that can take your children. Now, whether they stay in the local area of where you're stationed, or whether they go back home to your family, that's totally up to you. But you can have a family care plan. You just have to have someone in the local area listed on that plan. And then, so say, if something was to happen, you deploy like that, they have you have someone in a local area that can take your children, and then, your family can come and pick them up, or whatever the case is, later on down the road, or whatever situation or whatever that you work out. But it most definitely can be done. I'm a command post controller, so we work shifts. I did have to figure out a situation as to how, who I would have to watch my children while I work 2:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. shift, or a 10:30 p.m. to 6:30 a.m. shift, just because my kids aren't in school at night, they're at home. So I had to figure that out on my own. But not all jobs are like that. There are some jobs in the military where you only work Monday through Friday, 7:30 to 4:30. You only work during the daytime. So just be mindful of the jobs that you pick. I did not know that when I picked this job. I wanted this job, but I did not know that they work shift. So that's just something that I had to figure out. But definitely do your research and ask questions when you go and you talk to your recruiter, just to make sure that, if you know that you don't have, as much of a support system, that you rely solely on daycare to watch your kids during the day, and you need to work while they're at daycare, definitely ask those questions so that you can land a job that, you don't have to worry about working at night, or you don't have to worry about working on the weekends. It most definitely can be done. So don't get discouraged. If you're a single mom, wanting to join the military, do your research. Go talk to your local Air Force recruiter so that you can get those benefits for your children. My children are listed on my beneficiaries on my life insurance policy. My children do get medical. My children get dental. I do not have to live in the dorms. I'm 24 years old. I've never had to live in the dorms as a new airman, as most new airmen do, just because I have dependents. And the same thing goes for if you're married. So I do live in, a home on base. You don't have to live on base, you can live off base. But I do live in a pretty nice size home for myself and my family, because the Air Force takes care of its people. So if it's something that you definitely want to do, don't get discouraged. Look into the Air Force. Please do not sign custody of your children over, when there are other options out here. So I just want to put it out there for my single moms or single dads. I will have more videos coming as to how I deal with being a single parent in the military. The perks of it, the not so good parts of it, the cons of it. Like, it's not all good and gravy, but the bigger picture is, that it works out for myself and my children, and it's good. It's good for myself and it's good for them. So I have more videos coming about that, and just, like I said, my military experience, joining the military, tech school type of thing, the ins and outs of basic training. Like, I'll keep those videos rolling for you guys. So that's all I have for y'all today. Hope I can get a video up within like the next couple days for you guys. So I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I'll talk to you later.